got the answer. So maybe you can help a brother out if you like. Why can't we just love each other? You're my sister, you're my brother. Can we find a way to figure this love thing out? What the world needs is L-O-V-E, love. What the world needs is L-O-V-E, love. Lately the world's been going crazy. But hate divide. Love's the one thing that unifies. Brother, what's going on? So we've got to come together in love. What the world needs is L-O-V-E, love. What the world needs is L-O-V-E, love. Discrimination, no miseducation, all across the nation. Politicians making money off the poor. We ain't got no voice and they know we won't fall. I can't breathe, never see no more. The world needs more than this. What's the world needs? What the world needs? What the world needs more is love. Sweet we need immigration, violence legislation, with no hesitation. Let's love as a nation, no matter who's in love. If you agree and if you don't, we've gotta love one another. What the world needs, one another.
Worldwide Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Hey. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Live Jazz Experience podcast this evening. I am your co-host, DJ Lady Praise. Hey, and let's welcome in Jazz Man. What's up, Jazz Man? My co-host. How you doing?
How you doing, Lady Praise?
Hey, so how's it going in Chestertown?
It's going as well as it can, with the crisis and all.
Absolutely.
Just trying to hold on.
Absolutely. That's huh?
I said it's tough, but just trying to hold on.
Exactly. So nothing's going on special or anything. Every time I turn around, there's something is being canceled. So
yeah,
it's like
you're right about that.
Yeah.
In fact, I heard today that they've canceled some events even towards the end of this year.
Well, I heard about the big one I heard about last week was they canceled Artscape in Baltimore for July, which was huge.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about thousands of people, and yeah. I think everywhere is pretty much done to the end of the year.
Yeah,
because it's the unknown factor.
True, it is an unknown. You don't know, and people are not really. I mean, the pictures that I saw as far as Ocean City and New Jersey and the beaches. I mean, people are not necessarily really practicing social distancing. And please, everybody listening, please practice social distancing, please, and wear your mask and wash your hands. Because this thing is not over. Just because we're opening back up, it ain't over yet, okay?
Now, I was looking at I saw on TV yesterday with other countries, they're getting a second wave, some of the countries.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. people are just getting too relaxed and stuff. So, but hey, I still have my mask on and and doing what I got to do. So, but anyway, hey, look, we're going to get ready to get into. But I'm glad you're doing well. So let's get ready to get into our interview. Our guest tonight is Carl Brister. And hey, Carl, are you there? Welcome into the Live Jazz Experience podcast.
Hey, what's going on? I am here. Thank you for having me. How you guys doing?
Yes. How are you doing? Yeah.
I'm good. I'm up here in Jersey, and we're right in the thick of everything that you're talking about. So, but we're making it through. Well,
that's fantastic and great. So what we're going to do, let's go and get into the interview, and then we're going to stop around about 9, and then we're going to have Jazzman come in with our featured artist as far as Eleanor Collins, and then we'll have Jazzman come in and do some more questions, okay? So let me go ahead and start out with my question for you. So tell us a little bit about Carl Brister.
Okay, well, I'm a singer, songwriter, composer, producer. This track that you just played is my latest release, LOVE, and I really write lyrics from the heart about the things that I'm seeing and experiencing. So that song, even now with everything that's going on in the world and in our country in particular with the racial violence that's happening, as well as COVID-19, it touches a chord because we got to love one another through everything that we're dealing with. And, the solution is always going to start and end in love. So I'm really feeling, strong about that song, just sort of kind of addressing what we're going through right now. I'm a very, very, very proud dad and husband. I have 2 champion boys.
All right.
Yeah, that they're my homies, and I'm also an educator. So I really care about what's happening in our schools, and I've been trying to help parents that are homeschooling right now with some advice and things to help them along the way.
Okay. So tell me, with the track that we just played, I mean, I actually love this track. This song is awesome. You remind me so much of that retro soul, Luther Vandross, Angelo, even Rashad Patterson. So what was the creative process behind the creating Love, LOVE? I mean, can you dig a little bit more into it?
Yeah, sure, and thank you. I mean, those guys that you mentioned, I mean, they're definitely icons in their own right. I mean, especially Luther. All you got to say is Luther, and it's a wrap. But the creative process for LOVE, it's sort of kind of like how a good meal takes a while. Like you can't cook it really fast. You got to let it simmer and let all the ingredients just fall where they need to fall. And that's how Love came about. It started out as an up-tempo song. And then my producer sort of kind of had this idea, and he took my lyrics and he had a slow sort of kind of treatment of it, and he sort of kind of sent it back to me and said, what if you think we try it like this? And it just made all the sense in the world. And then, of course, I went back and rewrote new lyrics for it, and I just sort of was thinking about everything we were going through, Mike, and have been through, from the trials and tragedies of Mike Brown through Philando Castile, Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, thinking about what we're dealing with the 2020 election, and just everything. And I thought about Marvin Gaye. I thought about how he made What's Going On, and he really talked about what was happening in his time and captured that moment. And I really wanted to write a song that captured where we are today, but I wanted to give it a solution. And as a Christian, I know that love never fails. And I felt like we're not looking at each other through eyes of love. When you can, as a police officer, put your knee on the neck of a man and keep him down until he dies, you're not seeing that man through eyes of love. And love is going to be the way we get through this. And that's where I was going with this song, and it came out to be what it is today.
Wow. So when you write, so are you off in a quiet place, or are you in your car? Are you getting up in the middle of the night with a tape recorder next to the bed? How are you capturing your lyrics, as they say? Because some people get up and they have a notebook next to their bed and they have to get up and write immediately, or.
So the notebook has been replaced with the cell phone, and you can type in your lyrics right there. If you have and if you have a melody in your head, you just download an app with a recorder for the phone, and then I just sing in my ideas into the app. I do like my space, and honestly, my car is my little spot, and I live near a reserve kind of thing, a natural reserve, so I sort of kind of like to get up in early mornings. I love the mornings. I tend to write a lot in the mornings when it's still and it's quiet. But then sometimes after a nice workout or while I'm jogging particularly, I get a lot of ideas too. It just hits you, and I just try to capture it when they come.
Wow. So who first inspired you to sing? What parents, or was your parents, were they singers? Were they, did they make you take piano lessons or music lessons when you were growing up?
My dad was a hip hop DJ and a soul funk guitarist.
Wow.
Yeah, I got it on both sides, and so I would stay up late nights listening to his band rehearse, and they would go over their harmonies like over and over and over, and I would sneak down to. They would rehearse in the basement, so I would sneak down to the basement, and try to match their harmonies, and then I became really good at it, and I was so passionate that one day I was singing like really loud, and they were like, "Look, just get that kid a bongo or something," and I began subbing in for the drummer. I was the first roadie. I was the intern, and I watched my dad perform as a DJ, just make the crowd move. He knew how to capture that energy. He knew he was a rapper, so he would put bars together. And, so I sort of kind of got it from him. But he never sung. So
really?
He never sung. In fact, the band wouldn't let him sing. So,
whoa.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
But, there it is. So there it was.
Okay. Yeah, you were going past that one. Okay, cool. All right, cool.
It skipped a generation. I'm not sure.
All right, cool. So let me ask you this. So in your opinion, so where do you think, because your music goes between, to me, both genres. So it's more sound, to me, you're sounding more like a soul. I mean, to me, your sound is like serious soul R&B. I mean, wow. So where do you think the state of R&B is right now, as far as we have today? Where do you think that state is right now for R&B?
So for me, I try not to. I try not to classify myself. I know that LOVE is definitely soul, retro, R&B, and I flow there. But I'm actually classically trained, and I just try to sort of be where the music is. So my music does range from R&B, jazz, and pop. And with R&B right now, I think R&B is at a really good spot because it has so many colors. It has so many dimensions of R&B. You have an LA vibe. If you watch the show Insecure, you'll hear Raphael Sadiq, and you hear a whole movement there. And then you have a contemporary vibe if you listen to Chris Brown or, artists in that genre, slightly different than her, Her, her.
Yeah, her, yes, yes. I like her.
And then you got a mature a mature audience that still wants the good music arrangements with full harmonies, but they want edge with it. They want it now, but they want it yesterday too. And you have all of that, and it all comes together. So I think it's in a good spot.
Wow. Well, I just got to say that I checked out one of your other songs. I think that you did maybe in your videos you did 6 years ago, which was "I'm Still Here." I absolutely love that. You're gonna have to tell me what was the creative process behind "I'm Still Here." That song is fantastic.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Now you're taking me back.
Yeah, I was like, listen to this. This is awesome.
Thank you. And you know what I really like about that track is we used live horns, live instrumentation on that, live bass, guitar. We still made it bump. We still kept that move on it. That was with the same producer, Steve Walker. Got to shout him out of Atlanta. And, the idea that song was the first time that I publicly shared through my music, my testimony as a survivor of child sexual abuse. And so the "I'm Still Here" was about me and everybody who's gone through anything hard in your life. Even now, COVID-19, it was about me coming to terms with it by understanding that God actually spared my life. I could have been the statistic. I could have been the kid that never made it through that, the one on the milk carton that you're looking for. But God spared my life. He might allow somebody to touch me, but that weapon that was formed against me did not prosper. And He saved me for a reason, which was to tell my story, to encourage others who are going through hard times, to say, yes, you have to deal with what happened, but at the end of the day, you still have today. And you get to decide what you're going to make of it and who you're going to be in it. I'm still here. It didn't kill me. I'm still here.
Amen.
COVID-19 did not take you or I out. And yes, it's been hard. I have lost loved ones, and many people out here listening have. But we're still here. We still have to live. We get to live, and we make the most out of it. So that's where the creative process came from with that song, and I got a chance to spit some bars with that as well. And it was a fun song, man. We was like rocking. It was great.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, he's spitting bars. It's like, listen to this.
Look, I told you, I get it straight from my dad.
That's what I'm telling you. So who was the rapper in that? Who was the rapper in that with you?
That was me.
No, but who was the other guy? Really?
The other guy was the producer, Steve Walker.
Okay, Steve Walker. Oh man, he's good too.
yeah, he's very good. He's actually a really good singer as well.
Wow. So let me ask you this. So what is the one thing, the several things that you have failed at with in this particular in this part of your career as far as your music career? What are several things that you failed at that you could tell our audience to, so that they won't fail at, or the challenges you had, getting your music out there, and or you're still facing getting your music out there?
Oh my, wow. That's a really good question. I think, the first thing that I had to sort of kind of come to terms with was being a perfectionist.
Ah.
And as artists, we get a lot of critics. A lot of people that ain't never been in a studio, ain't never sang a song, ain't never been on a stage.
Yes.
The whole Simon Cowell American Idol generation, everybody's got an opinion, but ain't never sang a lick crowd.
Okay, yeah.
And what they don't understand is that, we're, like Erykah Badu said, we're artists and we're sensitive about our
stuff.
Yes. And the more criticism that you take, sometimes it can have different effects. So for me, it made me become a perfectionist, to where it's like, it's got to be right, it's got to be right, it's got to be, because I didn't want to deal with the negative comments.
Yeah.
And so I guess what I would say to artists is, yes, push for excellence, but at the end of the day, your art is your art. And the one and only person that has to be happy with the end result is you. You can't live to please everybody if you're not happy. You have to make sure that art represents who you are, and make it as great as you can, but then understand that those imperfections also help make it what it is too. And a perfectionist can drive other people crazy too. Because you want perfection from everybody around you, and you got to have grace. You got to be able to be human and just be real and exhale sometimes. I think just on a personal level, as artists, relax. If I could say that, just relax. Enjoy this music. Enjoy your moment. Enjoy your journey. I would say from a business perspective, it's important to know that it is a business, and you got to learn it. You have to learn it. It's not all about the applause and singing and getting your track played. You got to know that you're supposed to get paid when it plays.
Yes.
And you got to know how to make sure that you guard yourself as an artist creatively. My youngest son is actually writing songs now. And
really?
He and my two sons, they are musically inclined. They both play instruments, and my youngest plays 3.
Wonderful.
And his teacher wants to highlight his new song and his recital, but we both are like, but you got to copyright that first.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so you gotta, as an artist, you gotta know the business of music. It's so important, and you can't be anxious for anything, because people will take advantage of you. A real funny story is, I was trusting of a pastor, and I was, I started out singing in gospel professionally, and so a pastor had invited me out to his gospel event. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna take care of you." And I never got anything in writing. Went down, gave a great performance. His church was blessed, what have you. And then at the end of the day, he's like, I didn't make my budget, but here's an orange tie. And I kid you not, I still have that orange tie. I'm telling you, when I get mad, I jump on it. I run it over with my car. But it taught me a very important lesson. Get it in writing. You got to handle your business, and then you can get to the business.
Absolutely. Wow. that was awesome. Wow. So before we turn it over to get it to do our featured artist, I have one more question before I ask you. So who would you love to collaborate with? Past artists that you would love to collaborate with?
Wow. I mean, they say you're not supposed to say because then it jinxes you and blah, blah. But that's a good question. There's so many awesome people. I would love to do a collab with John Legend.
Okay. All right. Okay. I understand that.
I'd love to do that.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we're going to go ahead and play we're going to play Let's Go Back. Okay. And then right after Let's Go Back, we're going to go into do our featured artist with. So I want you to hold tight. Okay. And so we're going to play Let's Go Back. Everybody, the audience, and then after that we're gonna go right into Jazzman with our featured artist, a little bit of black music history here. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is Let's Go Back, and this is called Brister.
You're listening to Do Yourself Worldwide Podcast.
Remember on the come up love, uncomplicated like the spring. Before the house, before the kids. And way before this fame thing. Cause like in mahogany, all the success means nothing with no you and me. So let's just make it like it was. Go back to why we fell in love.
Remember back in the day we would be doing everything we could. Didn't have a lot, but we would have a good time. Some candlelight and some Chinese food. Avocado, but it was still good. Giggling, laughing about how we would be loving each other for life. So let's go back, let's go back. Don't let go, baby, let's go back. When love like spring was simple, with a little we were so good. Let's go back, let's go back. Don't let go, baby, let's go back. When love like spring was simple, uncomplicated love is so good.
I just think we gotta keep working on this thing. It's just too good to let go. Can we just get back to what really matters? Straighten it all out.
When all it took were love letters and we were still good. Window shopping at the mall, we were fine. We used to be together, say we'd never met anyone.
good evening, everyone. This is Jazz Man. The featured artist this evening is Eleanor Collins. Eleanor Collins, she was born Eleanor Ruth Collins, and her stage name Eleanor Collins. She is a singer, actor, and TV personality, born November 21st, 1919 in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Her parents are Black and Creole Indian heritage, were among the more than 1,000 Black homesteaders from Oklahoma who settled in Canada. Canada's first lady of jazz, Eleanor Collins was the first Canadian woman to have her own national television show, CBC TV's The Eleanor Show, in 1955, and she had another show called Eleanor in 1964. Often compared to American singer Lena Horne, Collins performed on many television and radio variety shows as well as in clubs. Collins is a member of the Order of Canada, the BC Entertainment Hall of Fame, and the recipient of numerous Lifetime Achievement Awards. Collins began to perform frequently in the 1950s, becoming known as Vancouver's First Lady of Jazz. In 1954, she made her television debut on CBC Vancouver's groundbreaking variety show, Bambula, A Day in the West Indies. The series lasted only 3 episodes, but was noteworthy for being the first Canadian television show with a mixed-race cast and the first live music TV show broadcast from Vancouver, Canada. CBC management, impressed with audience reaction to Bambula, quickly gave Collins her own variety series, The Eleanor Show, which ran from June 19th to September 11th, 1955. The Eleanor Show made Collins the first Canadian woman singer to have her own television show. Nat King Cole's successful national TV show did not premiere until 1956. To place Collins' achievement in context, it was in 1954 that the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that racial segregation of American public schools was unconstitutional. Collins' increasing exposure led to offers to sing in the U.S., but she refused, preferring to remain in the more racially integrated Canada that had been her parents' original choice. In the heyday of the musical variety show, Collins appeared on many other television and radio shows as a guest. With the arrival of the 1970s and the decline in popularity of variety shows, Collins was heard less often, but she continued to decline many offers to record with U.S. recording companies. She did make occasional appearances over the following decade. The Collins family was profiled in the 1994 video documentary, Hymn to Freedom, The History of Blacks in Canada. She also recorded Meet the Girls with Monique, Lyric, Neil Chodam, and Chris Gage. Decades later, she recorded Ruth Lowe's I'll Never Smile Again for the 2003 CD, She Bop, a century of jazz compositions by Canadian women. As the first woman and the first Black entertainer in Canada to have her own television show, Eleanor Collins received not just national recognition, but international recognition. In 1998, she was recognized by the Black Historical and Cultural Society during Black History Month. She received the 2005 Sam Payne Lifetime Achievement Award, and for her 90th birthday, CBC's Hot Air Jazz Show paid tribute to her. She was also profiled in the book They Desire a Better Country, The Order of Canada in 50 Stories. She has received more recognition in terms of Lifetime Achievement Award from the Black Canadian Awards in 2014 and the U.S. Organization for Black Women in Jazz in 2015 for her services to music and as a role model for race relations. She was named a member of the Order of Canada in 2014, which is a high order of merit in Canada. Eleanor Collins, I chose her because she got very little recognition in terms of in the United States. And I thought that she should be well known. We know a lot about Lena Horne, but we don't know a lot about Eleanor Collins. And I highly recommend you can either Google her or you can look at her in the History Archive. All right, thank you.
You're listening to Julius Live Worldwide Podcast.
Daddy. Hi, Daddy.
Somehow I knew that you were my angel. The day God gave life to you, I knew that you were my angel. And when I looked into your eyes, something within me came alive. At the sound of your first cry, I cried. I wanna be there till the very end. I wanna be the best that I can. Who shows you your love so you'll understand. Your daddy's angel. I wanna give you all I can and more, and help with the dreams that you reach for. Cause you're the gift that I've been praying for. Your daddy's angel. Think of the day we got the news. We knew you were an angel. Just to see your smile makes me smile too. Cause you are an angel. And when you're sound asleep at night, I check to make sure you're alright. Pray to God softly at your bedside. Oh, I wanna be there till the very end. I wanna be the best that I can. Who shows you your love so you'll understand. Your daddy's angel. I wanna give you all I can and more, and help with the dreams that you reach for. You're the gift that I've been praying for. Your daddy's angel. And as you grow to the one that you're becoming, remember your faith wherever you go. Love everyone, trust God and give your very best in all times. Spread your wings and fly, my angel, my angel. You were born, I knew that you were an angel. The day God gave life to you, I knew that you were an angel. Oh, the best that I can. Who shows you your love so you'll understand. Your daddy's angel, daddy's angel. More and more, dreams that you reach for. You're the gift that I've been praying for. Your daddy's
angel. Brother Carl, that is an amazing song.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Was that your children before the lyrics came in?
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Your voice is, you got a smooth voice. It's almost like it's like a little Elder Barge mixed in with a little Marvin Gaye / Michael Jackson.
Wow. Okay. Well, again, those are the greats. Those are the greats. I'll take it. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Yes. While I was reading your bio, I was very impressed by your nonprofit organization, Music Village.
Yes.
Exactly. How did you get that vision, or when did you get the vision to do it?
Okay. Yeah. So 5 years ago, I started a community event called the Love and Unity Fest, and it was in response to all of the racial uprising that had been happening at that time, very close to what's going on now. It was Eric Garner, Philando Castile. All of that was happening. There was retaliation shootings of the police officers in Houston, and I just felt that what we were missing was love. And so I pulled together artists of all different genres, all different races and backgrounds. I went to the city, town, and I said, I want to do this and bring people together. And that festival has been happening year after year ever since. And so my nonprofit Music Village was born out of that. It's a way that through music we support organizations that are making inroads to racial diversity, harmony, and bringing people together, and we use music to do it.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, what challenges did you face when you went to the, to the people to make the decisions in terms of putting on not just the Love and Unity Fest, but also putting together Music Village?
So it's always, interesting when you share a vision, something that perhaps may not have been done before, or you step out and do it. The cool thing is when you do it, you not only see who might be against you, but you find all the doors that are waiting to be open for you and help you too. So I sort of had it on both sides. I had the vision was embraced by the town because we all needed something to bring people together, and with growing into a nonprofit, it just made sense to everybody because it has become such a successful community event. But you get your haters along the way. You get people that don't understand your vision. I had a church that actually withdrew their support because I would not turn away participants who were of same sex, and they didn't feel comfortable being a part of the same event. But the part where I rest is we're here to love one another. We're here to find ways that we do agree and come together. And so I had to live with that. I had to live with people that just didn't get it, even if it was your own or people that you thought would be there. You got to know what God is saying in your heart. Listen to your wise counsel, but you have to have the courage to keep moving forward, and I did.
Oh, okay. Where do you see Music Village in 5 years? 5 years from now?
So what I hope is that it will be supporting young artists and musicians that not only to grow their talent, but also to find ways that they can use their music to uplift the community, to uplift seniors who can't get out to a concert. Maybe we can bring it to them, to uplift those in hospitals who might need some encouragement through music. Just to understand the power of music and the gift that we get to share with others and how it can impact people's lives, and use it not only to entertain but to enlighten and inspire.
That's great. That's great how you are a visionary musician. You're beyond the music or beyond just the business of music. You go into the community and the people. And because I'm also very impressed, by the way, by your homeschool program. I like that.
Thank you.
Now let's get to the composition and what makes Carl Brister unique.
Oh man, That's a good question. I mean, I just write from my heart. I don't try to be someone else. I sort of kind of accept that a lot of people try to place my voice, but they sort of kind of say you're a mix of this, you're a mix of that. But I'm all of Carl. That's who I am, and I don't know what it is. It's just who I am.
Okay. And my last question before I turn it over is, if you could go back to your younger self, what advice would you give?
Oh, if I could go back, what advice would I give?
Only one now.
Oh, man. Oh, okay, only one, too.
Oh, it could be two. It could be two.
That's a good question. All right, so I would tell my younger self to definitely, I don't know, not be shy. You know, I fight shyness, like, you know, that whole shyness, timidity, that whole Michael Jackson thing that he used to always be shy. I thought you had to be shy.
Mm-hmm.
So
how did you get over
shy.
it?
Huh?
How did you get over it?
How did I get over that? I guess really honestly, I started to see how it was holding me back. It was holding me back, and I needed to move forward. So I couldn't let that shyness thing stop me from reaching my goals. So I get past it. And,
okay.
and I guess I would just say, you know, just have fun. Just have fun. Enjoy. Have fun. That's
I thought about that with my younger self. Don't take things too seriously.
Yeah, you know, just enjoy the ride. That's what I would say. Enjoy the ride.
All right, I'm gonna turn it over. You did excellent interview. Wish you the best with Music Village. Wish you the best in your musical career. Wish you the best with the homeschooling program. That's great, especially during the COVID-19.
Thank you.
And best wishes to you and everything you do. And I had one more question, but I'm gonna turn it over. But
come on, man! You got to say it.
What is your most major challenge in terms of being the founder and CEO?
My most that one is not a hard one. The biggest challenge as a CEO is realizing you got to trust the people that work for you and work with you. You can't do everything.
Trust your team. Okay, yeah. Trust your team. Now. All right, like that.
You got to trust your team. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Cole.
Right.
Thank you.
We really appreciate having you here on Positive Power. I know Yvette probably has one more question for you, and Yvette, you can go ahead.
No, not at all.
You good?
Yeah, I just wanted to say to Carl, your music is so smooth and so just retro soul to me. I am loving it. I am just vibing on it. It is wonderful. And thank you so much for coming on the show. Yes, I'm downloading everything.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And we definitely became a fan of his on Spotify for sure. Definitely getting them spins in, man. You know, it's incredible what how much talent is out here, you know, that God is showing us through these platforms, because just relying on our own local radio just wasn't enough. I would have never probably found out about none of these artists if it was for just FM radio. So internet radio is definitely a godsend, and I appreciate your people reaching out to us, Carl, and having you be part of our radio family. Amen.
Thank you, man. Amen.
All right, and I told you would love this platform, man. They're really good about their music.
It.
Yeah, they maybe far they way down in the country, but they know their music. Right, Yvette?
Yeah. Those were really great questions.
We know our stuff.
I should have been ready.
Yeah, been ready.
I tried to prepare you, man. I tried.
You did. It was great. Thank you, guys.
Amen. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Right.
And don't forget, you can catch all of our shows, all our replays on Spotify. Just look for it on my Facebook page at Jerry Voice Live. Thank you, everybody. Have an awesome week, and we see you next Wednesday. Right, family?
Right, family. See you next Wednesday. Be safe.
You're listening to Jerry Voice Live Worldwide Podcast.
I've got a question, but I ain't got the answer. So maybe you can help a brother out if you like. Why can't we just love each other? You're my sister, you're my brother. Can we find a way to figure this love thing out? What the world needs is L-O-V-E, love. What the world needs is L-O-V-E, love. Lately the world's been going crazy. Love's the one thing that unifies. Oh, brother, what's going on? So we've got to come together in love. What the world needs is L-O-V-E, love. What the world needs is L-O-V-E, discrimination, no miseducation, all across the nation. Politicians making money off the poor. We ain't got no voice and they know we won't fall.